Alright, so, greetings all, it's DFuxa. Welcome back to another Let's Play for Treasure Fleet. So, as you can basically read here, this is basically a 4X turn-based strategy game set during the Age of Discovery. And I'll note that this game is basically heavily based off of Sid Meier's colonization over here. Now, I'll note that Treasure Fleet is basically like, in many ways it's sort of like advanced version of like, colonization and like, a lot of its like, mechanisms, I guess. It basically adds a lot of features that the original Collision didn't have, while mixing up the formula for like some of the other like aspects of gameplay. I've already basically done playlists for this game with the Spanish, but I didn't really show off all the features I could with like this Let's Play, and developers also since recently like updated the game as well. I also didn't really have a like really good finish for the game as well, so I wanted to basically come back to it and basically try it again. So I'll note that basically the Spanish Let's Play, there's like my high score. I plan to beat that high score if I get the chance to. And I'll note as well, by the way, that for those who never actually played like either Sid Meier's Collision or like Treasure Fleet, basically the idea of like this game is that there's like four major empires of like the old world. So English, Spanish, the Dutch, and the French. The Portuguese didn't make the cut, I guess, as well as like other like nations, but whatever. Each of these like factions will basically have a different bonus for them. So the English basically have an immigration bonus to like correspond to like the amount of like population that basically made its way over to the New World from like the British Isles. The Spanish basically have a bonus for conquest, so whenever they kill a native settlement, they basically get more gold. The Dutch basically have a trading modifier, so essentially when they're trading to like the old world, they won't crash the market as fast as the other powers. And then the French here, they basically have cooperation, where they basically have better relations with the natives. Anyhow, I'm going to basically turn on randomized starting location. This basically makes it so that you start randomly in the world. And then the armor mode is basically for like, the achievements over here, so let's get to it. Alright, so when you start the game, you'll basically start on a random like side of like, or not random side, but you'll start like a random position basically on the board here if like you have random starting locations. If you don't have those on, then you'll basically start like historically where like it's just basically like we've basically sort of like settled toward the the edges of the new world. So for the French, basically they settled in the north, Quebec, Nova Scotia, stuff like that. The English basically would sell like the Americas. The Spanish basically settled Central America, and the Portuguese basically settled Brazil. And yeah, I realized that the Portuguese basically weren't like an empire, but whatever. That's how it goes, I guess. Alright, so on note, basically there's also a ship we start with. This guy will basically have two separate columns on it, and it'll basically like different for like different like factions. Basically for our French, we basically start with a trapper as well as a soldier. And I'll just quickly just go through your emperors to show them off, I guess, as well. So you notice that basically each of these like factions will have like different like guys. So the English basically have like colonist as well as like a soldier. If we go to the Spanish here, much like the original like Spanish, they basically start with like a bunch of soldiers basically to go to the New World with, because basically they're all just like doing their conquistadoring and all that stuff, and the Aztec Empire and the Incas. And then there's the Dutch. You basically start with a very interesting start here. Unlike the like other powers, they basically start with a better ship as opposed to like better colonists. So there's their Carrick. Alright, so let's get down to it. I'll note basically I start the game with like a French caravel, and it's basically got a random name like attached to it. You can basically see its moves, its strength, as well as the supply right here, as well as what's tile is basically on right now. Now, I'll note for those who basically have played like Sid Meier's Collision, it didn't really have a supply modifier, so this is one of like the new features this game basically sort of adds on to like, the formula. And the idea is like these ships can't be like out in like the ruinous too long before, like, you know, they basically run out of supplies, so, like, you know, water or, like, you know, food or whatever else they might need. And if they run out of supplies, basically they start taking some, like, you know, strength damage at that point, which basically affects their, like, you know, combat score. Yes, we're gonna sail on onto here to find some land. And here we go, we found some land. Let's just see here. Alright, so very nice. Basically found our first native tribe right here in Huron. There's another Huron tribe right there. Excellent, so there's some ruins. Let's try, like, jumping on, like, you know, trappers in these ruins to see if I can basically find some goodies. I didn't, but, you know, oh well, that's fine. Now, I'll note that, like, you know, ruins basically are, like, a feature, like, you know, we're basically in the original, like, you know, Sid Meier's civilization. And the idea of, like, you know, searching ruins is basically, like, you know, you might find, like, some gold, you might find some, like, other good stuff. There's not a whole lot of features basically you get from, like, the ruins, but, you know, they're worthwhile to explore all the time. Now, I will note that this game basically has this sort of, like, you know, realistic scheme for, like, you know, forests and stuff like that in this game, and, like, other stuff. You'll basically find, like, just, like, you know, Brio Forest, and there's, like, you know, Conifer Forest up north. And then as, like, you go, like, further, like, you know, south, basically you'll find, like, you know, other types of, like, you know, forests basically take hold, so to speak. So there's, like, a broadleaf forest down here. So, up here are some more Hurons, apparently. I'll leave this guy to explore here around here a little bit, so we'll come pick him up in a moment, but for now, let's have my guys just, like, look around and see what they can basically find on the coast here. Right now, I'm basically looking for a place to settle, like, you know, a little, like, you know, settlement to basically start off my, like, you know, exploits in the New World. It's probably recommended in this game to, like, you know, not do this, like, you know, you should immediately just try to, like, you know, find, like, a place to, the land. But whatever. Uh-oh. So, the explorers search the ruins but find nothing of value. For disturbing the ancient burial grounds, a native curse has been placed on them. So, these guys apparently just got cursed. I have no idea what that just did to them, but oh well. And I can see, like, up here with the boreal forest and stuff like that, you basically have, like, tundra showing. Alright, I need to find a place to settle, so there's yet another, like, you know, Huron tribe over here, apparently. Now, I will note that these guys are basically losing supply pretty fast. The ship's not so much because basically it's got, like, you know, a half mile of our supply when you're on the coast. Because you guys basically land, like, you know, get, like, supplies from, like, the land if they need to. The other guys, like the soldiers here, though, these guys are basically, like, you know, go down, like, you know, and supply a lot faster to the guys in the land because they don't have, like, you know, just basically, like, you know, make use of. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so there's, like, some iron ore, just, like, you know, mountain over here. That might be a good spot to basically put, like, a settlement at some point. And up here we basically have, like, you know, some fish and stuff. And yeah, I can see, like, you know, it's starting to kick in that, like, you know, they're running out of supplies. We need supplies. Alright, well, I probably might be able to summon me around here at some point, I guess, but, let's keep looking around. Probably if this is up here, by the way, to some possibly. I might want to make like a, some sort of like, some basically on like, this tile here perhaps, or this tile right here. I know the tundras are not really great for like, building next to, but you do what you gotta do, so to speak. We'll look around here for a little bit to see if I can basically find some, like, goose basically in this grassland here. Alright, let's just put this guy into, like, the vessel. I didn't realize it, but there's actually a river right here, so rivers actually help a little bit with, like, getting basically a little bit of, like, extra, like, modifiers for, like, your stuff, so they're good to be around. And apparently there's another river right here, apparently, so that's good to know. And I know her and tribe is basically over here in this river, apparently, so that's good to know. Now, I will not bother, you can't build like summons too close to our summons, so I can't build like a summons in, like anywhere in like, it's like, raised for like the Inuit tribe because it'd be like too close to it. Right here though, if I build a summon, basically I've got like, the Real Forest basically next to me, make sure I'm fine. And I think Real Forest basically give me... Oh, they only give me like one number of these guys. Alright, so... I may actually want to build here then if that's the fact that I only got like one from this, because although they have like a combat force next, you actually get like pretty good like benefits to the combat force for like wood chopping, I think. So you don't. All right, well, I'm not just gonna make it a colony up here to like harvest like the ore here, so. Let's just make a colony right there for the ore. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I may want to make a colony right here instead, because I'll be actually close enough to this Huron tribe to trade with them, so... maybe I'll do that. Build it right there, so I'm close enough to the Huron tribe to like trade them. And yeah, that's the thing I can do in this game, you can actually trade like, the natives, so... I'll try and show that off. So let's build a settlement right there. There's some Arctic mountains over here apparently. And here's Fort Caroline basically setting up. Now, I didn't really get to show it off like there for a moment, but the ship actually went down to like 0 supply, and you don't actually immediately like lose health, strength for like or like health or anything for your ships if like you have like no supply, but you definitely don't want that to happen either. So something to keep in mind there. But whatever. All right, this guy. Actually, I'll note that right now this guy started ding. Another feature this game basically has that the like old Civilized Civilization doesn't have is like research type idea. So we basically like research like different trees for like our efforts basically in New World. And I'll note that basically I think I'm gonna go for collision to start off with. So let's just work a little bit of like collision here, and basically like possibly like make like a better colony in the future. So see how it goes. Right now I'm going to leave my ship basically inside Fort Caroline, so let's do that with him for now. And let's let this guy look around here as well. There might be another Inuit tribe up here, I think, because there's like, you know, another Inuit basically running around over here. Alright, so our first sign of like trade. So you can basically interact with the natives in positive ways in this game, and they basically like give you free stuff or make demands of you and attack you and other stuff as well. Let's see here. Let's send this guy to resupply and it's going to look for your tribe up here, I think. Alright, another thing that this game sort of has that the other, like, you know, civilized culture didn't have is, like, you know, a DF or, like, you know, events for your communities. So in this case, we basically have, like, you know, a plague basically breaking out in, like, you know, Fort Caroline. And a plague will basically mean that, like, you know, if anyone basically interacts with, like, this settlement, they'll basically catch the plague. And it can spread to, like, their tribes, or, like, you know, if, like, a European interacts with me, they can spread to, like, our European colonies. Basically, it's, like, a bad thing to have it happen, but, you know, it happens. I was going to leave my trapper in here for a moment to, like, you know, wait for the plague to subside, so that'll be his job. I found I was going to build food, I guess, here, so that's fine as well. Yeah, there's like an interaction with stealing my stuff, so they stole my food. Now, I wouldn't buy if I want to actually interact with these like natives, like, you know, trade with them and stuff like that as well, so you can basically, like, you know, try and do this, like, you know, with each of the guys here. Well, I failed twice, but oh well, that happens. Alright, the plague ended, so at this point we're just gonna send my, like, you know, trapper basically out to explore a little bit, so we'll find this, like, other guys basically, like, you know, habitat. And yeah, I can see, like, you know, the plague's basically spread to this Inuit tribe over here. Now, I'll note that basically inside this tribe will basically take, like, plague damage, so that's gonna happen for them now. Alright, there's some trade basically right there. And yeah, no, by the way, this guy's got like a negative strength modifier because these guys were actually plagued for a little bit, and this guy's healed up at this point, but this guy wasn't, like, you know, healed up when he left, so that's what happens with the plague, basically lose some health. Let's trade this guy a little bit. Now, this is one of the things I really don't like about this game, by the way, is that you basically trade for free, like, each turn, like, the you know, the natives. And it's basically, like, free money for you to make use of in the future, so it makes it really easy to, like, you know, build up basically, like, you know, a cash reserve if you want this way. But whatever. I can take that. Now, don't bother this guy over here. I would like to trade him as well, but if you have only one guy and you're trying to, like, leave, like, you know, a colony basically outside of, like, your colony here, you'll actually, like, you know, abandon the colony, so well, I actually have this guy to leave first, I guess, but, you know, with only one guy basically in, like, the colony, I can't actually have him get out there, so just let me know, by the way. There's some more money. There we go, there's some really good money. Alright, so here's another thing these, like, natives can basically do with us. They basically offer us goods to basically sell, so there's some furs. And we'll have to basically put in, like, the, you know, the furs here to basically bring off to, like, the new, the old world, so lose my ship basically starts sailing off to, like, you know, Europe again. Let's have this guy's move back to Fort Caroline at this point. Sure, Huron can basically take their food there, I guess. There's some tobacco. Now, no bother if I want to actually trade this guy now because there's, like, you know, a guy in settlement, so we can pull this guy basically out and in to basically get this done. And yeah, I'm not by the way, like toward like the north of the map. You always have these like ice flows basically forming. So the Northwest Passage is where we're basically at right now, I guess. Though there is no Northwest Passage in this game. Let's talk to this guy over here. And yeah, I'll note by the way, this guy refused the first time, but basically he took the second offer. I'll note that basically in this game, like everything's very much percentage based, so sometimes you'll basically like you'll fail like on your first interaction with the guy, but if you have multiple units, basically like try again. And it's also very much like governed by like the disposition of the Indians as well. So if basically they have like good relations with you, they basically have a better chance of like training and stuff like that. So it's like that's basically a thing in this game. There's some furs. Alright, so this is basically like, a thing that happened in old colonization. Basically, like, in Samara's game, your ruler can basically increase your tax rate to basically get, like, some income on the stuff you basically sell to him, so that's a thing. Let's talk about nearby lands. Alright, so these guys can actually describe stuff to you if you want, if you basically like, ask for it, but usually it's not something I basically like, basically like request like that early on because like, I want to basically get like good relations first, but whatever. He has enough food basically in his colony for now, so let's get some other stuff he's going here. Let's get some first match in the coats, I think. You basically make like luxury goods in this game in a new world, so you basically like turn sugar into rum, tobacco into cigars, cotton into cloth, furs into coats. And there's like, 4 other basic stuff you can basically like, make use of if you want as well. Alright, this guy should be able to get to the new world in a moment. But damn. I'll note this guy's actually too far to get to like, the old world and like, on his own power, like, just like the turns basically taken so far. There we go, there's Europe. Refusal to trade again. It's free money, Always take free money. And yeah, these guys can steal your coast as well if you're not careful, so you have to watch out for that, but whatever. Alright, so I'll now basically sail my ship back to Europe. Here's basically a port of Le Rochelle here. I'm going to sell off the stuff this guy's basically collected, so I'm going to make some money from the tobacco and the furs we basically have here. You notice basically at the bottom there's like a tax rate, that's basically my money is going to the king. And the rest of it basically is like the balance I'll basically keep for myself to basically like, exploit the new world. I can also buy like new guys to basically send to New World if I want to as well, so we'll have maybe a lumberjack right now. And it might be good to buy some farmers as well, so let's get them. Now, I want to try and get some more stuff as well to bring to the new world, so let's try and trade these guys here. Or we'll go trade these guys up here, I guess. There we go, there's some money. That's just enough money for my guys to like equip some horses, so let's put some horses on these guys here. Horses are useful for defense as well as like exploring the land, so very useful to put my guys early on. There's some more furs. Yeah, guys, curious. We're just gonna leave him alone because I don't want him basically getting angry at me or anything like that. So, let's manufacture some furs and the coats and stuff. it's just slowly making my way up to, like, you know, my colony here of this guy. I refuse to trade. You'll find that guys that are curious are basically a lot more, like, you know, less susceptible to trading with you. And more prone to basically attacking as well, but whatever. By the way, I'll note that you can zoom in and zoom out with, like, the mouse wheel, so there's, like, 2 layers in the map. There's, like, a, you know, a ground layer like this, as well as, like, a zoomed in layer like this. You can take those, I guess. Let's try this again with trading this guy, so... There we go. He's friendly. And I'll know basically, like, you know, trying to, like, you know, appease these guys as much as possible early on to, like, you know, make them have good relations with me. Just like, basically trade them as much as possible. Alright, these guys showed up. We're gonna equip the shoulders here of the horses. And these guys are gonna work on, like, some lumberjacks and food and other stuff here for me. Let's pick up these coats here, we'll pick up cigars. We'll get ourselves a few more extra coats basically to bring to the old world, so we'll do that for next turn. So there we go, there's some more coats. Now, at this point, I'm basically starting to get some lumber here. The lumber needs to be used to produce, like, structures and stuff like that in this game, so... They'll basically, like, turn, like, lumber into, like, boards in the future. You can do that with these guys right now if I want to. Though I will know at this point, by the way, it'd probably be optimal to have, like, the trappers basically, you know, head out to, like, talk to people, so... We'll trade these guys like so. And my ship here can, like, head back to, like, you know, Europe, I think, so... We'll do that with him. He's offering tobacco, that's a good price for it, so let's take it. Now, I don't bother trying to trade this guy again. I've actually already traded this guy, so I'm gonna, like, ask for, like, nearby land, so... You know, something I can basically do if I want to, but, you know... Not the most optimal thing I basically do with him. I should probably move this guy back into the colony area, but whatever, it's fine. My ship's gonna move over here. We'll have this guy, like, head back into the line, basically explore this, like, part of ocean over here. There's some more trade. It was probably a good time to basically ask this guy if, like, you know, he told me about his land, so... Let's try and do that, I guess. There's some lands basically over here. There's a mountain I missed over here, that's good to find. I might want to explore this mountain to see if it's got any, like, valuable ores and stuff in it, like, you know, this one had, so... Something to do in the future. Okay, this fish dropped there, so I'm not going to bar him. There's some more tobacco, we'll take it. Now I want to be very careful, like, you know, my, like, you know, storage capacity in here, so... We'll start making some of this, like, you know, tobacco, I think, into, like, you know, cigars and stuff. I'll send this guy back toward, you know, Europe. Alright, so, much like the old, like, you know, Samurai Collision, you'll basically have, like, you know, colonists basically spawn on the docks. They'll basically be brought to, like, the New World whenever you want to. I'll note that, unlike Samaras, though, this game's basically, like, you know, again, very percentage-based, so this is, like, a percentage chance of this guy spawning each turn, as opposed to Samaras, where, like, you know, you basically have a cross system, where, like, you know, we'll be able to cross to basically, like, get, like, a new guy. still Europe. Have this guy head out, basically talk to this guy. Well, that's unfortunately refused to trade, but well, that's fine. Alright, well. Lumberjack can work on lumber here. So I can work on the furs here a little bit. They can make some coats. There's some tobacco. He's after some cigars. We'll give him some cigars, I guess. This guy's actually looking for cigars for compensation for crimes, by the way. So I probably want to give it to him so he basically doesn't get, you know, angry with me or anything like that. We're going to trade these natives. They refuse to trade, but well, it's fine. There we go. Got with that guy. There we go. There's some resource deposits basically revealed to me. Oh, I actually realized just some wood down here. So there's some timber trees basically to exploit over here. That might be good for the future. Might be like a colony over here, for example, to get like some lumber. So something to like bear in mind in the future. Or building some lumber up here for these guys, I guess. So let's do that for now. Alright, just got to pay back to the labor of shell again. We'll sell off these like coats and cigars for a nice little profit. The cost is going to jump on board, as well as maybe some... Let's see here. Oh, no, by the way, I'm actually getting to that point where I actually have, like, you know, too many guys to, like, you know, interact with in, like, the, you know, in a settlement. On the by the way, I feel like I have like 4 colonists here. There is like a penalty to, like, or not penalty, but it's like a limit to like how many people you basically have inside like a settlement. So until I build like a wall here, you can't actually get over a colony size of 5. So it's something to keep in mind. I have like a limit on my population to like I get like the amount of people I need for stuff here. Oh, this guy ran out of like, you know, tobacco to turn a cigar, so that happened. I got a ding there for it. Let's try and build this carpenter a little bit faster, I think. So we'll just get everyone to work on this now. And this guy here, I think, was move up to talk to these guys to be up here. In all honesty, I should probably have like, you know, this guy go out to explore this like mountain over here, I guess. So move out in this direction of him to seek it out and to see what's over there. This guy's returned, so let's head back to New World with him. There's some trade of that guy going. These guys can trade these guys up here, so trade with them for a little bit of like gold. And with them. Yeah, no, by the way, it's really not something I really like about this game, like to be able to like, you know, really trade like the natives like this. By the way, someone's gonna basically offer gifts to these guys who want to try and like raise like your stand with them, so we'll do that with them just to like make them happier with me, I think. Let's walk over here. So that guy's gonna take his cigars from me, so that happened. Alright, so there's basically some tobacco over here, apparently. And there's nothing on the mountain here, but you know, it's still good to know there's mountains out here because I can make use of them for ores if I want in the future. Let's trade these guys up here. These guys are curious again, so we're just gonna leave them alone. Unless their disposition tends to go down, we basically ask for, like, you know, knowledge about the surroundings, so you gotta be very careful, you know, taking knowledge from these guys if you want to basically keep your, you know, interest in you up, I guess we'll say. We have some hills over here in a river. That's nice to know. The river actually is probably this one right here, I think, because... well, it might not actually be this one right here. I'd love to explore up this river at some point, but we'll see about that in the future, I guess. Alright, so this guy's gonna move back here a little bit, so... actually, what we really should be doing about, like, horsemen is, like, you know, using them to explore around the mountains a little bit to see what, you know, is around the area. Something like this. And this. You guys can get back to work on this, I guess. Yeah, free trade, because why not? Alright, so we actually fill up the storage there. Note, by the way, these guys will tend to give you a lot of stuff, and when it happens, you'll basically fill up on your storage capacity really, really fast, so... we actually weren't able to get all the stuff basically we want there, because, you know, we don't have the storage for it. Trade, 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 like crazy. I guess at this point, let's just get some, more cigars maybe here. Here with them. Alright, so there's like the little range around here of like this mountain, so I might want to, like, you know, exploit these in the future, but that'll be in the future. Let's go there with him. Taking my cigars there a little bit, but that's fine. Let's just work on the carbon here for a little bit, I guess. Or trade. Those guys are running out low on supplies at this point. I really should probably move them back, so we'll try moving them back at this point, I think. By the way, I think you can actually trade like guys like this, like here, so you can actually like drop them off like this, like, you know, trade them. So why not? We'll do it like this for a little bit. All right, so on the bottom, eventually when you reveal enough like the information about the surrounding like area, they'll basically like, you know, they don't have any more information to tell you. So this guy can't tell me about any more newer areas because basically explore or like, you know, asked enough from I guess about it. So that's the thing. Alright, these guys are here. We're just gonna drop some cigars and coats and stuff in here, I guess, for this guy. And why not? We'll just basically, like, you know, turn some more of this stuff into stuff here. Just some, I think. Someone can work on this for now. He wants a coat. He's going to offer me some furs. I'm going to say no to the furs by the way at this point because I basically don't have room in the colony, so to speak, but whatever. And by the way, keep for low supplies, low, other stuff happening here. Let's take this. We'll take the furs. We'll take this. We're going to take a lumber basically back to a new world, I guess, to sell, so let's do that for now. We'll send this guy out to go back home. Now, I'll note by the way when you have horses in a unit like this, you never want to basically stay next turn to like a operational unit at all or settlement. These guys can steal your horse if you're not careful, so I'll basically avoid that as much as possible if I can help it. There's some furs over here apparently, as well as a longer river basically to explore. And yeah, this guy's basically like, give me all the information you can, but whatever. Alright, these guys need to make their way back in here, so they can basically resupply. And yeah, I'm not bothered I have like 6 guys here, so if I basically try and like put the last guy in here, we guys can't because there's like no room for him. So that's a thing to note in this game, but whatever. Anyhow, let's have maybe this guy pop out for a moment. Well, this guy talks to the units for a little bit, I think. And the horseman here can just like, go in for a turn and basically like, help me do stuff here, I guess. Now, I should probably note by the way, I'm not sure you really noticed, but actually I'm building a lot faster like, this carpenter here, because I have like, this engineer here. Certain units in this game will actually have bonus to like production and stuff like that, so if you have like say like a engineer here, these guys basically have a bonus to boards, so basically build like structures faster. Basically it's good for building infrastructure while I'm too. Let's trade those guys a little bit. And at this point, I want this guy to go out to explore, I guess, so... Send that way. Alright, so... For those who basically play Submarine Collision, of course, like, you'll basically get, like, new ships and stuff as, like, game progresses. So here's the galleon becoming available. Basically, like buy like ships in like the port, and like they get better as you go along. So you basically want to buy like this like heavy beast of burden. I don't have the money for it, but it's something I'll basically buy in the future if I want. Let's move that way with him. I'll just keep trading with him to get the money I basically need to like do that, I guess. Alright, at this point I want to basically show off I think this right now to get like more boards basically stockpiled here to do stuff with. So let's focus on this for now.